and to survive have an equal responsibility and have equal right over the earth's resources. Every species has the right to live in and breathe in fresh air. So I would end up with my favorite quotation, which is, be the change you want to see in the world.
That we cannot stop living life just in the fear of consequences or what may happen next. So you might be wondering, why am I mentioning all this to you in the midst of an environment related debate? Well, this is what I'm exactly trying to explain. What we need to understand is we need to live in the present and look at what lies and not look at what lies ahead of us. Because if we do not know how to fulfill the needs of our present, how can we guarantee the needs of the future?
Good time. Okay, so I'll be talking about water and how human beings pursue and use and consume water for their own greed and selfish interest. Now, basically, the United Nations recognizes several things as essential for every human. Okay, these things or components are air, water, shelter, clothing and food. Proposition or all the first speakers basically come up and told you that just because there is education, there is proper awareness of the entire situation. And because there is proper awareness, human beings are greedy and selfish. So this is what we have to basically come to understand, that the entire fact that human beings have become aware is completely flawed.
We were chained together at one corner of the cage. Okay? And what the zoo people also did was they tied this whole bunch of bananas right on top. Okay? So every monkey was constrained by the chains that they were tied to right at one corner of the cage. But they weren't constrained enough to not try to reach the bananas, right?
Discuss today. We would like to discuss that when we have the point of it that man is considered to be greedy, a man is considered to be very, very selfish, we do not realize why is it so.
For the given topic here, and it's with respect to soil. I'm going to kind of make it a little funny with two lines, that's it, which are really, really funny in my, I think so because people out there laugh. United Nations says that by 2015 we're going to have 9 billion people on this planet. How do we expect to feed them? Everyone wants their own villas to stay. Everyone wants their own land. They want their own place where they can go up and stay. Yes, cool, fine. How do you go grow the crops? You have only a little place to grow the crops. We've been learning, let's go ahead and do crop rotation. Let's go and stop slash and burning. Why should I do that? I'm a human being. I was evolutionized. I am supposed to use what is given to me. Consider an animal, the dinosaurs, okay? Now when they went eating, they used to eat up an entire chunk of tree. No one went and stopped them because they didn't have the brain, they had a brain of a nutshell. If they would have the brains like we have, they would have all sat down and had gone, oh my god, we are using so many resources.
Or they provide us with fruits, or they provide us with medicine, right? But it is not entirely pertaining to us directly because we essentially are not involved in the process. When we get involved in the process through joint forest management, we know that we are so inherently dependent on that resource for our sustenance when we start taking care of it, right? And I'd like to end my speech by just saying that the opposition has essentially told us here that no, you should save today and then you can probably prosper tomorrow. What I'm essentially telling you here is it is better to burn out today, better to burn out the coal than to fade away, right?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to speak on the tragedy of pharmaceutical effect on minerals. So, basically, according to an estimate, the earth will be depleted of coking coal within 13 years, bauxite within 300 years, copper within 36 years, high, medium, and low grade iron ore within 32, 16, and 14 years respectively. And our position is already very, very critical with respect to coal and petroleum. We know this. We all know this. And we also know that human beings have been responsible for this and solely responsible for this. The environmental crisis that we face today is all because of us, and the sad part of it is that the future generations will be facing the repercussions of our mistakes. We have been, over the years, over the past 200 years or so, our energy use has increased drastically. And according to an estimate, it will soar in the next 50 years. Our energy requirements will almost double in the next 50 years. Now, in such a scenario, in such times, where we need to, where terms like sustainability are so prevalent, we have to realize that human beings are the nature of human beings. Human beings by themselves are very greedy, are very have the tendency to exploit. This tendency to overexploit takes away our rationale, and this will definitely not be enough to survive. And the resources that we currently have will definitely not be enough for our future generations, right? And this is very much like the golden egg phenomena where despite having the golden egg, we are not satisfied and we still insist on killing the hen, knowing full well that there is no long-term gain involved, right? So therefore we need to stop or at least curb our current rate of exploitation of resources and come up with reasonable alternatives much before that our Mother Earth gives up and gets depleted of her resources. So we need to go on a conservation strategy, right? And I think though it is too late for us to, set things back on track as they were previously, but we can at least start off by doing a lot, by going towards sustainable development. We have a lot of alternatives today to the way to. For example, we have non-renewable energy resources like solar, wind, water, which can be used and can actually revert the damage that we not exactly revert, but at least bring about some change, some positive change in the environment, some positive change in what we've done today. So, although I agree that although human beings have been very selfish in the past and have led to the depletion of resources, there is still time that we humans realize that what we've done is wrong, and we can at least take a step towards in a direction towards saving the environment. So what we as the proposition are trying to say is that we humans have been solely responsible for the degradation in our environment quality, and therefore it becomes a moral duty to set things right, to bring things back on track, right? And today's global society is economically, socially, and culturally to some extent dependent on minerals. Minerals are very, very important for development, extremely important for development. And by definition, minerals are non-renewable in nature, and their stocks are finite. So it becomes even more important to save this precious resource. And therefore, we as the side proposition would end up by saying that the implication of the commons is that since no one owns it, anyone can use it, exploit it, and pollute it at no charge. But in spite of saying this, I would also add that it is not too late for a fresh start and to set things right. Thank you.
People at the back, and please have your attention. I know you're not listening. I'm going to be talking about the notion human beings are socially responsible but exploit resources because they have no other choice. I firmly believe this. Today we live in an industrialized, civilized society. Ever since the Industrial Revolution began, or rather ever since the dawn of human civilization, we have progressed from animals to what we are today. We live in structures that we have created out of the sheer prowess of our minds. All these things require minerals, ladies and gentlemen. To get rid of minerals, resources like coal, iron ore, and other important things, these will simply push us back to the Stone Age. Do you want to do that? My esteemed colleague has said that human beings need to stop exploiting resources to a good extent so that we can build a harmonious environment, so we can interact and live with the environment in peace. But if we get rid of minerals, all we do is push ourselves back a few hundred years and have to come back to the same point by exploiting resources even more. We cannot at this point go back to the Stone Age. Rather, we should use our minerals that we have, the resources that we have presently, and try to create a future world in which we have less dependence on the same. This we can do. This we have proven to be able to do over the years. We have come across insurmountable obstacles to the sheer power of our mind, and we can do it again. Now people will take examples of other species on this planet. How other species like elephants, crocodiles, birds, insects live in complete social harmony with their environment. This is not a very good comparison. Human beings can in no way be compared to the other animals that inhabit this earth. We are entirely a different being with superior intellect. I'm sure none of you can disagree with that fact. After all, crocodiles do not hold conferences on how to protect the environment. We are completely an advanced species. Our equal so far has not been found. The minute we find an alien race is more superior to ours, we can then compare notes with them on how they save their environment. Right now, what we are doing is we are inhabiting the planet. We are the foremost species in our planet, and we have the absolute authority and rights on how to use and exploit its resources. The notion that now I'll come to the notion that human beings are socially responsible or irresponsible, as the case may be. Now, the fact that human beings are socially irresponsible is absurd. And the very statement of the fact is absurd. Now, you must have all heard the proverb, you will not bite the hand that feeds you. Now here, the proverbial hand being Mother Earth and the resources that she gives us, we will definitely not cut it off and use it up so much that we can not do it ever again. but that at the same time we do take food from the hand that feeds us. We do take the resources, we do exploit them. And I believe that I should conclude on a note of hope. My opponent said that there is no hope, that at the very least we can try, but we might not get somewhere. But hope is what the human race has survived on. Hope and work. Hope and perseverance and working towards an ideal that we can make what seems impossible possible. We can overcome insurmountable obstacles through the sheer power of intellect and come out on top. Thank you.